Hey, like, share, and subscribe. The August 10th episode of Monday Night Raw was home to one of the best promos, at least of the year. And Randy Orton has been on fire all year. But this promo, because of the back and forth, was one of the best promos of the year, if not the best promo of the year. So after vanquishing Kevin Owens, Randy Orton goes on this spiel about Ric Flair. And essentially he's saying that Ric Flair is this old leech who is a glory hound, and he's hanging on to him and trying to and leeching off of him in the spotlight, and he's not the Ric Flair that Randy Orton has always known. He's old and beat up, and he got all this baggage now. And Flair, kind of just looks at him and kind of agrees to a degree. He agrees with them, like, hey, look, I don't have it anymore. I'm not that guy. I'm not the nature boy anymore. But I've spent all this time mentoring you. I just want to hang around. I just want to have some fun. I'm 71 years old. It's like, man, I'm on Monday Night Raw. I get to still live the life. I get to, live vicariously through you. I get to pass the torch. I want to see you become the 17-time world champion, not John Cena. I want it to be Randy Orton. And I just want to be there when it happens. And, I'm not going to get in the way, yada, yada, yada. And Randy Orton's already said he's in the way. So you have this toggling where Ric Flair didn't even debate what Randy Orton is saying. He's just saying, like, dude, all that might be true, but just let me be. Just let me hang on and live vicariously through you and enjoy the moment and enjoy the time that I have left. Because, he's had some health scares, and they talked about his health scares, him going into a coma and, his heart stent and all this sort of thing. It was so emotional and it was so dramatic. It was excellent theater. To a degree, it was also very similar to the Ric Flair Triple H feud. Now, a lot of people don't look over this, and I talk about it a lot. I talk about it effusively, if given the chance. But the Ric Flair Triple H feud from 2006 was the sort of the end of Evolution. After Triple H lost to Batista in the Hell in a Cell match, he returned a couple of months later. I guess this is where he went off to learn how to be an executive in WWE, even though he was still in the ring. And Ric Flair was the Intercontinental Champion. And Triple H had nothing but utter disgust at this concept, because Ric Flair is the 16-time world champion. And here he is, proud to be this mid-card champion. And Triple H cuts this promo basically saying that Ric Flair is tarnishing his legacy. Ric Flair is wasting his own time. And, Ric Flair's legacy means a lot to Triple H. And he's like, your legacy means a lot to me and you're tarnishing it. I need to put you down. And Ric Flair at the time, even though he was 50 something, probably, he still had that competitive fire. He still had the will to fight back, So it's almost as if it's a recurring theme in WWE. And people say there's no long-term storytelling. There's a recurring theme of Ric Flair sort of being put down, kind of people just saying, look, it's over. It's over. Hang it up. And I told you before, I said this before on this channel, WWE does an excellent job of putting what people on the internet are saying and putting it into the mouths of a performer. They continue to do this with Ric Flair, where it's almost all the time is like Ric Flair needs to go home. Ric Flair is too old to be traveling. It's a pandemic. It's this, it's that. He's got to go. And Randy Orton today just said, look, it's over. I'm not going to let you ride my coattails anymore. And there's no reason for him to act this way. As long as Ric Flair stays out of the way, there is no reason for it. But it makes perfect sense in terms of why would he want that? Why would he want Ric Flair to hang on to him and live vicariously through him? He's denying a guy something that is relatively harmless. He's denying Ric Flair the honor of basking in his light to go off of the Randy Orton's original theme song, to burn in his light. He's saying, like, no, Ric Flair can't. Those days are over. That Ric Flair might, maybe, but this Ric Flair, this 71-year-old husk of Ric Flair, is not allowed to hang around. This guy has to go. This guy's disgusting. It was so deeply personal. And a lot of the crazy things about the Ric Flair promos lately, within the last couple of years, have been that they have been very personal. You know, they did a good job. Now, to talk about the segment, they did a good job of not actually making contact with Rick. They used retribution, turning the lights on and off to prevent Rick from getting beaten up. They did this, of course, with the Batista feud, where Batista jumped Ric Flair in the locker room, and they just showed him dragging Ric Flair out of the locker room instead of, Ric Flair actually having to take a bump or anything like that. So, but they have used Ric Flair perfectly because he is a perfectly sympathetic figure. He is the grandfather of a lot of these guys, great grandfather to some degree, to some of them. But he has been long associated with Evolution and with all Batista, Triple H, and Randy Orton. And I don't remember if there was ever a Batista Ric Flair match. I know that there was moments where they fought, but I don't think they've ever had an actual match, unless it happened, when I wasn't watching wrestling that much. But the idea that they all use Ric Flair, and sort of Ric Flair has this sort of bubble, like it's 6 degrees of separation from Ric Flair, where everybody just kind of has taken bits and pieces off of him, and in return he gives a little bit back. But it's awesome. Like, it's a great central theme to the WWE. And of course you can't continue to do this because Ric Flair is just going to get older and older and older, and he's barely and sometimes people have said that they have a hard time understanding what he's saying. There was an episode I think maybe a couple of weeks ago on Raw, Ric Flair did a promo, and people were like, I don't understand what he's saying. He sounds like he's mumbling. He was very clear tonight. And I think he only got a couple of more. Maybe that might have been the last one. The August 10th promo might have been the last time you really get something out of Ric Flair that is that good. And not to be outdone, but Randy Orton is doing the best work of his career right now. And it shouldn't even be questioned at this point. There is no wrestler in the company. There's no wrestler in the world, if we're being quite honest, that is more on fire as far as promos and matches than Randy Orton. He has been lit, at least since the pandemic started, because I guess he kind of figured he had to step it up. Maybe not having to travel as much, having a central location where he can just go there and do the show and bounce has, kicked him in the ass, and then he just decided to show why he's been around for so long. And he's not just the guy that was, the opposite of Cena, that he is an entity unto himself. And I think this has been a career defining run with Randy Orton. And this story, of course, it should go without saying, but they've kind of been leading up to it. So everybody's kind of been waiting on Randy Orton to attack Ric Flair, but it still should mean something when it happens. And it was excellent. And I don't know what else more to say other than to, just talk in circles. But it does remind me a lot of the Triple H feud. But this time it felt so real, because it felt like a real conversation they may have had. And, it was phenomenal. It was a phenomenal segment. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. This is an interactive channel. Tell me what you guys think about the segment. Like, share, and subscribe. I'll talk to you guys later.